Welcome to episode 209 of the Fully In It podcast. Do you hold back from doing the things that you know you need to do, whether it's from fear or perfectionism? Do you want to become bolder, more confident, and make decisions and moves faster? If yes, you're in the right place. In this episode, I'm going to share the simple shifts that will help you get things done in motherhood, business, and everything in between, even if you need to do it scared. So let's go ahead and jump right in. Welcome to the Fully In It podcast with Kate Saffel, a show for powerful moms growing life-changing businesses while showing up intentionally for their families. I teach you how to create a family-first and profitable business in less time by leveraging simple strategy, mom life-friendly systems, and above all, the mindset of going fully in it. You ready? Hey you, how has your week been? How is it going? We've had a great week here. My parents were in town and it is always so nice to have them visiting. I always miss them so much when they leave. It is so hard to live far away from your parents, and if you do as well, I know that you get it. Those of you who have your parents nearby, just appreciate it because it really does make all the difference when you have kids. Kirk and I are also celebrating 19 years of marriage this week, which is just insane because it doesn't seem like we're old enough to have been married that long. But yeah, 19 years of marriage, and it has had its ups and downs, truly. Like, there have been some really hard years, but I am so grateful that we have stuck with it, even when we didn't always want to, and we had the opportunity to just grow together because we got married so young. You know, there was so much more life for each of us to live. We have both been able to go after our individual goals and dreams while raising a family. And I really love that that's how we did it. I mean, I don't know any different, but I really love that that's how we did it because we didn't try to accomplish everything before we got married. You know, we got married and we built a life together, and I just can't imagine it any differently. And so in honor of Kirk and I being married almost 20 years, I'm offering 2 discounted life coaching spots at my 2020 rates, which is just nuts because I have raised my rates multiple times since 2020. So if you want my help creating a life and a home you love and becoming the mom and the woman that you want to be, you belong in coaching with me, and you can take advantage of this, but it's for the first 2 moms who sign up for coaching, and I expect these to go really fast. So head to happierInmotherhood.com and navigate to the life coaching tab, or you can use the link that is in the show notes, and I will see you on your free consult. So I was talking to one of my kiddos this week about how when we were on vacation a few weeks ago, they had gone to a water park, and she and her cousin kind of dared each other to go down this one water slide that was completely enclosed and dark inside, right? So she couldn't see any of the path until she got to the very bottom and it opened up into the water. And so we were talking about it, and she was telling me like how scary that was, but that her cousin wanted to go too. And so they cheered each other on. They both went down the slide, and they ultimately ended up going down 15 times. And I said, wow, so you must have kind of gotten over your fear, huh? And she said, no, I was so scared every single time I went down that slide, but it was fun, and I got to see myself do something that I was scared of. And I was thinking about how so often in life, there are things that we really want to do, things that shape us, that become part of the stories that we tell about who we are as a human being. And you may be tempted to avoid them because they're so scary, because it invokes your fear. You get that strong fear response, and your brain tells you it would be better to just stay safe. It would be better if we didn't try this. And I remember as a kid doing things that really scared me. Like I was that kid who was really drawn to scary stuff, even though it terrified me. I wanted to do it. I wanted to experience it. And so whether that was roller coasters or doing like haunted walkthrough experiences around Halloween, those are always very creepy. And I was screaming my head off. I still wanted to experience the thrill of saying I did something that frightened me. And I don't know about you. I don't know what your life looks like right now, if it just looks pretty comfortable and steady and you don't really have to do anything that scares you. Or maybe you are putting yourself in the arena every single day and you are doing things that excite you, thrill you, and scare you at the same time. It is my personal opinion that a life worth living is one in which you face your fears. It helps you grow as a human being and expand your vision of what is possible for you, but also for other people, because when we face our fears, we are then able to help others do the same. I was reading something the other day about Pa from Laura Ingalls Wilder's Little House on the Prairie series. I don't know if you've ever read that with your kids. My kids loved it. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you should definitely look it up. It is an American classic. So if you are not from the States, you probably definitely have not heard of it. But Little House on the Prairie, I think there's like 8 or 9 books, and they're really great. But the father, Pa Ingalls, right, he is always taking them farther out into the American frontier. And this is in the 1800s. And they're kind of getting in these experiences that they're dangerous. They're a bit scary for the mother and for the children. But ultimately, Pa has a vision for what he's trying to create for their family. And I was reading commentary on it and how if there weren't people like Pa throughout history, men and women who were willing to face their fears and do the scary things, we wouldn't see the world populated the way it is. We wouldn't see the United States settled how it is now. There wouldn't be people from, Rhode Island to California. They'd probably all still be piled up on the East Coast if they had even made it over on the initial ships, right? Because again, think of all the early explorers and the fears they must have had to overcome to just head out in the ocean and hope that they reached land. And here we are, and you're scared to start your podcast. You're scared to say what you need to say on social media. You're scared to start your business. You're scared to pull your kids out of school and just homeschool them already. Right? Whatever it is, whatever that thing is that you feel called to do, and you're afraid of it, that is where your growth is. That is where the change is. And, I think about all the times I've presented. I've done a lot of it. I used to be a teacher and I taught at high school. I taught at the university level. And then when I became a coach, I began presenting, at like women's conferences and things like that, and then teaching online. Maybe you've been to one of my online classes. But did you know that every time, even like I did one recently, just like 2 months ago, every single time I'm literally shaking in my boots. I have to take deep breaths to control my breathing so my voice doesn't shake because my whole body is radiating fear. Now, I've done so much mindset work that I can talk myself through it. And once I get started, I'm fine. Like I'm okay. I relax, I get into it, and it's no big deal. But that initial few minutes, that first 5 minutes is really tough for me. And it hasn't changed. And I've been presenting and teaching for 15 years, 20 years, since high school. I mean, I've been doing this forever because I really love doing it. But again, it's a fear I have to face over and over again. So let's talk about some of the reasons why you may be giving in to your fear. The first one is you may struggle with perfectionism. Raise a hand if this is you because it is a lot of women I meet, a lot of women I coach who struggle with perfectionism. Perfectionism is the fear of getting something wrong or being judged by your actions. And so instead of doing the thing and putting it out there, you take your sweet time and you tell yourself that it's okay to take your time because you're just trying to do the best job that you can do. You want to make sure it's perfect. And that desire for perfection is costing you, because perfectionism will rarely result in the life that you want. It takes you too long to get anywhere if every little thing that you do has to be perfect. I have always told you and my clients that B- work is okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. And if you look at all of my years of content, you will see that there's little mistakes, there's little errors. And I choose to put it out anyway because as a busy mom, I don't have time. I don't want to give my time to perfectionism. I'm not going to get caught in that loop. I'm going to do it. I'm going to get it done. I'm going to put it out in the world. And now I have enough experience to know that even my B- work changes lives, that it's so helpful. And maybe just maybe, not seeking perfect actually makes the work more human, more relatable, instead of trying to put out something so perfect that nobody can even relate to it or get it. One of my mentors said in the past that you have to rack up dozens and dozens of failures in your business before you'll see success. How many of us are willing to fail? Are you willing to fail? Right? Is that one of your fears, is failing? I often ask myself, how often have I actually really failed? Like really spun out and just hit the dust? We usually protect ourselves from experiencing that. We don't usually go all in. We're not typically fully in it, and we don't experience that pain of failure. But if you're not failing, you're not winning because you're not learning. We learn from mistakes. We learn from failure. I mean, isn't that what we tell our children? I hope so, right? It's like, I don't tell my kids, hey, you better get it perfect the first time. Like, no way. I'm like, it's okay. You can make mistakes. You're learning. But for some reason, we don't allow this for us. We expect ourselves to get it perfect in motherhood, in business, in marriage, in friendships, right? Think about the last time maybe you went to a women's event or a get together and you said something and then you spent the next few days going over it in your mind because you're embarrassed about what you said. You think you said the wrong thing. Again, your brain's just trying to protect you, but nobody else is perfect. Nobody else is getting it right. We just think that. We just think that there is some kind of perfection standard and we have to meet it or we're going to get kicked out of the tribe. And that is just not true. And I would guarantee that your favorite people you follow online, maybe some of them present a picture of perfection, but the really wise ones will show their mistakes. They'll talk about all the failures that they experienced, the hardship, the challenges it took for them to get where they are. I know those are the kind of experts I want to hear from. I want to hear from the scrappy ones who fought to get where they are, who faced their fears, instead of the ones who just present like they're perfect and like nothing ever went wrong and they just woke up one day and they were an overnight success. We just know that that is not reality. Nobody is an overnight success. Whatever your fears are, you need to get well acquainted with exactly what it is so that you have the awareness when it is coming up. And then I just want you to ask yourself, is this fear worth me giving up on the thing that I want? Am I willing to trade this desire I have so that I can let my fear roll? So I'm going to tell you a little story. When we were getting ready to travel full-time back in 2020, and the plan, which I had come up with, which is kind of audacious when I look back at it, was that I was going to financially support the family and my husband was going to quit his job, which at the time he was making like bank. Like he was doing really well. He was in a sales job and he was making amazing money. And so it seemed kind of stupid, but our daughter was sick. She was having health issues because of the house we were in. It had mold and we needed to get out, and we could have moved to a different house. The doctor really advised us to like completely start over with all of our belongings because she was like, you're going to take the mold with you. So frightening, right? There was so much fear happening on a daily basis because I just wanted my daughter to feel better. I wanted her to heal. I was scared that maybe she never would. And her symptoms were really, really bad. And so we had talked with our doctor and we were like, okay, we're going to buy a brand new RV to live in and travel in. And that meant we had to also buy a truck. And my husband's job wasn't portable. It wasn't something he could do online like so many people now can do. And I was the only one who had access to an online job, essentially. And that was through my business. Now, at the time, my business was, I would make it depended, maybe, 500 to 1,000 a month, maybe 2,000, maybe 3,000 was like a really high month for me, was about $3,000. Definitely not enough for a family to live on. But I wanted so badly to heal my daughter and for us to have this really connected life together, because my husband was working, like he was making the bank, but he was working so much, we hardly saw him. And our kids were little and we just wanted that time together, And so I just remember as we were working toward this plan, again, my income was nowhere where it needed to be. And we're buying a brand new RV with the plan that my business is going to support us. We're buying a truck. Trucks are not cheap. And I had like a presentation I was supposed to do for this parenting group. And I had like a total breakdown before it. Like I was just like freaking out in fear. And I was like, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do any of this. Kirk was like, no, it's okay. He's like, let's go for a drive and get some fresh air. And so we got in the car and we put the windows down. We listened to music and he just talked me through the vision. This is what we're going to do. This is right. This is what you're building. This is what your business is going to look like. This is what our life is going to look like. Calmed me down. And I redid my makeup. And then I taught that workshop. It was really, really hard. And even when my sales weren't where they needed to be the month before we were leaving, right? Like my husband is literally putting in his 2 weeks notice. And I was in the middle of selling my first group coaching program. Still, no real guarantee. And in this case, I had to trust in God that this is where our path was leading us. And I had to trust that we were going to be okay. And we had backup plans, right? We weren't like total idiots. We had backup plans of if this plan goes sideways, what we would do. But that full faith, going fully in it, dancing with my fears, pushing myself to my limits, honestly, is what created that life that we wanted and the business that financially supported it. And I had my first 5-figure month at the end of that month, right after Kirk had put in his notice and quit his job. I tallied it up and I had made my first 5 figures. What? There was no way to have known that in advance. Because you just can't. You can't know in advance what the outcome is going to be of your actions. You have to make moves in full trust. Trust in yourself, that you do know what you're doing. Trust in God, if that's part of your faith, that you're being led to this. Trust in the future that you have envisioned and that you're creating. No matter what it is, whether, again, it's in your home life, and the family culture you want to create, or maybe it's a move you want to make, or maybe you want to write a book. Whatever it is that is on your heart to do, and you've been letting fear slow you down, to eat up your time, to tell you to do it better, to cause you to hide, just know that the life you want is on the other side of you getting over your fear. And you are strong enough to do it. There is nothing wrong with you, and there's no reason why you cannot create what you want. There's nothing special about me, I promise you. I just push through my fear even when it makes me feel like I'm going to throw up, because I now have enough life experience to see that there's always fruit on the other side. It's a fruitful endeavor to face your fears, to go all in. And we only have this one life, right? Like, you just have this one life. So what do you want to do with it? What do you want to create? Who do you want to be? Okay. I'm sending you so much love. Face some fears this week. Let me know. Send me a message. Email me. I'm on Substack. You can definitely message me over there. However you can find me, let me know. I'd love to hear from you. And if you want to come into coaching, if you want someone who has your back and who can help you through your fears and get you to the other side, I'm your gal. So head to happierandmotherhood.com and look at coaching with me. And thank you so much for being here. I will see you next week.